Good evening and welcome back to Be Rich. Shashwat is back in university, so I had to fill for Shashwat today, so you don't get disappointed. He'll be back in a couple of days. While I leave for Japan tomorrow, you will not see me for some time. So you'll see Shashwat and Vinod for the next 15 days, with an odd case of video thrown in. And anyway, today Vinod dragged me for a subject which has arisen from a comment that you have.
Let me read out the comment.
Someone has written in a video. So over to you, Vinod.
Okay. Here's a comment. It came to me on Instagram from Shashidhar Prasad. He said he's very grateful for all the videos we're doing and he's been learning a lot. But then he goes on to say, Talab in his books and interviews repeatedly says it's impossible to predict macro, and I've seen many pundits make embarrassingly wrong predictions time and time again. However, on the other hand, it's very surprising to see Anand sir getting every prediction on gold and interest rates right regularly. Could you shed some light on how he does it?
First of all, I don't make predictions. So don't put a halo around me and don't create an halo effect. I am only showing you the mirror. All I am saying is the world is of gold standard. And if you have read Lord Keynes, the governments in a democracy want to avoid a recession or a deep economic depression. So even before any healthy correction takes place, they rush to give dollops of liquidity and free cash. And this free cash and liquidity has created a bubble. And anytime somebody tries to prick the bubble, the government of the world, all governments of the world, try to avoid that because they don't want to lose the next election. Election cycle is the biggest problem for this. Every 4 years in America, a new president has to be elected. Every 2 years, one section of Congress gets elected. So there is an election cycle. In India, every year there is an election. So it's impossible for a government to take very hard, concrete steps. So we know for sure currency is being debased and it has been continuous. It's not unique to America, it's not unique to India. America is debased lower than us because their currency is accepted all over the world. Our currency is not accepted all around the world and therefore our debasement is faster. But since we are able to attract positive capital flows by selling our assets and borrowing in dollars, making companies borrow in dollars, we have a comfortable float. So our fall in rupee is cushioned. Whereas in the case of Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Ghana and many countries, they don't have capital flows and their currency falls precipitously. So the way I predict gold is, gold has to definitely, if currency debases, gold has to go up in value because you can print currency or you need not even print. You can create currency by putting a finger on if the RBI taps the keyboards. Similarly, but you cannot tap the keyboard to get gold. The amount of gold is limited. Therefore, the price of gold is known and is unidirectional. So it doesn't need to a rocket scientist. How do I get the falls in gold right? Is whenever the interest rates go up, the gold corrects. By judging the Fed interest rate cycle, we have a fair idea of the gold. The correction in gold was predicted because the price of US dollar went up. As long as the price of US dollar keeps on going up, gold will fall, and that's exactly what happened. Since inflation has fallen from 9 to 3, America has already started celebrating that there's a possibility of rate cut. But that rate cut is not going to happen this year, which Powell said very clearly. He has said sometime next year. So that is why I say gold will rally next year in the next 18 months. Because 12 months down the line, I think the US Fed will cut rates. The moment the US Fed starts to cut, the gold rates will start to skyrocket. And therefore, from 5,500, as the rupee falls and gold lifts in the international market, you will get a 15 to 20% rally. From 5,500, if 20% rally will take it to 6,667, which is the price I said. This can come from a combination of falling rupee and rising gold prices in dollar terms. You have to understand in dollar terms, gold has gone nowhere. Second, what can spoil this prediction is the fact that crude prices have begun to rally again and Brent has touched 84 yesterday. This means the rupee will be under enormous pressure and the rupee may begin to correct. So if you know India's largest import is two, one is oil and the other is gold. Both are inelastic to demand. Since you don't have real positive rates in deposits, the rural and the lower class India goes behind gold. So gold demand for gold is evergreen in India, and oil we don't have any great local productions because of the policies of all governments, including a government run by my party. Therefore, you are not going to get surplus oil in India, even though it is available below the surface of the earth. So it is very clear that we will have to import oil, and if oil prices go up, automatically it will have a gravitational pull on the value of the Indian rupee. I do not know how much oil will go up, but looks like the Middle East countries and Russia have cut enough supplies to keep gold oil at 84. This does not sound well for the Indian rupee. The case of China is slightly different because China exports more than what it imports. In India, we import more than what we export. The gap is narrowed because of our services export. We are the largest IT services exporters in the world. We export about 150 to 200 billion dollars. I don't know the last numbers, and this helps us to cushion the blow. But we still run a huge deficit, and that deficit is financed by foreign portfolio investors and Indian corporates willing to borrow abroad. This is the secret. There's no secret sauce. Only if I try to make prediction, I'll get wrong. It is not possible for a country to stop debasing its currency. If a country stops to debase its currency, the government will definitely lose the next election. Like Socrates said many years ago, the parable of the sweetmeat maker and the dentist. In a democracy, the sweetmeat shop owner will always win the election and the dentist will always lose the election. So people want freebies. They think governments have enormous resources and endless supply of money. So this is why currency debases. And once currency debases, dollars have to go up. Once you know this equation, you can make any predictions yourself.
And all of you are wondering, where is all this information Anand gleaning from? It's just from reading history. There's no secret to it. The more history you consume, the more books you read. I know Anand and Shashwat and me have repeatedly said this. There's no shortcut to this. There's no secret sauce to this other than reading books. Anand always is with a book. He reads books. He reads a lot of history. History is where you glean all this information from. By seeing history, repeatedly repeating itself, and seeing empires crumble, companies crumble. You read histories of companies, you read histories of empires and civilizations. It comes to a very matter of fact what happens. The biggest killer is debt, and gold has always been the refuge where everyone goes to in any time of crisis. So these being very fundamental things is very easy to understand. Basically what the government has got a problem is, it's got a critically ill patient who's bleeding internally. They don't know where their bleeding is and the blood pressure is dropping. So to stabilize the blood pressure, they keep giving blood, hoping to keep the blood pressure up while they find out where the bleeding is happening. This is how our economy is running. Not only in India, most countries, including America, their economy is bleeding somewhere. They don't know where it's bleeding, but they keep printing currency and trying to keep things hunky-dory till they figure out what to do.
Yeah, and if you try to correct it, even if you have identified the source, you fix it, you will lose the next election.
Correct, which nobody wants.
Nobody wants. Thank you for watching. Be Rich. If you like the content, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and write your comments below. If you have already done it, send this video to your friends and relatives and have them take a look. Once again, I thank you for your support for Be Rich. I am in Tokyo on work on the 5th of August 2023. I have a lot of following in Japan, Tokyo. Those who want to meet me in Tokyo on 5th August, kindly drop me an email on the address given below or contact us on WhatsApp there. My team would get in touch with you and facilitate the meeting. Once again, I thank you for your support for Be Rich. It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.